Wrestling.
Oh yeah! Welcome everybody to another edition of Grind City Wrestling. I am Dustin Starr. Be sure to follow us on social media at Grind City Media. Take the subscribe button to Slap City wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening. Last week, Devin and I held it down and we kept it real. And this week, E-Rock and myself are going to do the same exact thing because we're fresh off of a huge SummerSlam weekend. Tons and tons of great wrestling ahead on today's program. Plus, we have a huge show in Pontotoc, Mississippi, benefiting St. Jude. So we're going to talk to St. Jude Hero Murray Collum right here on Grind City Wrestling. But ladies and gentlemen, it is bell time. Introducing first. You see how I do that like a ring announcer? Introducing first. My co-host and tag team partner, allegedly an A-lister. Ladies and gentlemen, E-Rock, Eric McMahon. Welcome back to the program. E-Rock.
What is up, dog? Excited. I'm in my home office today. Can you see my background? I got all my cool pictures, my jiu-jitsu medals, got more awards on the ground over there. You're missing the whole trophy case over there. But I'll show, wait, hold on. Let's see that. Look at that. It's more trophy cases right over there. You see all that. But yeah, man, I'm ready to be back. Man, we got a lot to talk about. Like, SummerSlam was cool, and you know, Cody went over. I thought Roman got hurt. You know, a lot of things happened. I thought Drew McIntyre coming off the shelf, coming back. Where does he go from here? I thought he was going to pick up a dub because of it. So, just like logically speaking, I'm like, they're going to throw him in this top spot and then bury him. Apparently, they did. I don't know where he goes, but it was a good show, man. SummerSlam's always a good show.
Absolutely. We're going to talk all about it. Devin would be here today, but he's actually stuck on the golf course.
Stuck. Yeah, he's stuck on the golf course.
With Luke Kennard of the Memphis Grizzlies. How cool is that?
Man, it's cool. Devin's got the greatest job in the history of the world. Probably next to me and you. We got some pretty damn good jobs too, right?
Right. Totally agree.
What I don't want to hear is Devin is stuck on the golf course.
Well, be sure to follow Eric on Twitter at @E_MacLive. First of all, what's new? There's lots of wrestling going on, but what's new coming up?
Man, a lot of stuff. I was just at the UFC fights this past weekend, continuing like my training, reffing stuff with the UFC. So sitting cage fight, shadowing the refs, even was the pit ref, the guy that checks them all for Vaseline. If you were watching ESPN, you would have seen me. Just a lot going on.
I saw on your social media where you were taking video of the cage and walking in there and all that, and I was super excited because that, to me, like I know you're a big WWE guy. To me, that's like me going to WWE and walking in the ring and doing all that. And I know you're a big fan too, but UFC, I mean, gosh, that's your second love.
Yeah, and it was amazing sitting there. There was like 19,000 people, sold out Bridgestone, seat for seat, and then all the seating on the floor because it's a cage, kind of like a wrestling. There was no blackout. There was no Titantron that was blocking. It was like literally 19,000 people just going ballistic, man. It was an experience, and you know, rabid fans, and that's what the sport's all about. So MMA, it's pretty cool. I got some reffing gigs coming up, not necessarily for UFC. I think I'll be back out in Vegas in September, working some more there, but then also with Cage Fury Fighting Championships, I'll be in North Dakota coming up. I'll be in Florida coming up. So a lot of good things happen to me on that referee front, which is super, super cool.
Very, very cool. Humble brag with all the trophies and stuff in the background, the medals.
Those are all my jiu-jitsu medals. You can see
yeah, very cool. So you usually have championship belts up here, but my lovely Maria literally snatches them down and hides them in a closet. So I got to figure something else out. I need a room, man.
What is that right behind you? Is that an axe?
It is an axe.
That's cool, man. So is that just like intimidation? If you're out of line, she puts that up just in case?
Oh, I thought you meant for like the kids. Yeah, she has it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
all right. So what's the best wrestling that you watched all week?
You know what? It's kind of tough. Let's take SummerSlam out of the equation. Right, okay. I think SummerSlam's its own animal, its own beast. So it comes down between two things. And number one, as you guys know, I'm a huge Dark Side of the Ring fan. It was awesome. The life or the world according to Marty Jannetty. Not people necessarily talking about it. It's just like his experiences. And is he telling the truth or is he not? And just it comes on to saying, it's like, dude, everybody, like, Marty Jannetty is like a pathological liar to begin with, right? So his like former girlfriend saying that, you know, you never know if he's telling the truth or just.
Now hold on. Former girlfriend, current girlfriend, what? I don't know exactly what that was. She's known him for so long. She's with him. She's not. So to me, that was interesting.
And according to him, it was only his St. Louis girlfriend. Remember that?
Yes. That is so true. So coming up in the business early on, some of the old timers would tell us, hey, this is kind of how it works. And that's why Marty Jannetty said, yeah, my St. Louis girlfriend, they had a girlfriend in every different state, man.
Yeah. Hey, more power to
maybe,
them,
maybe every city.
Dude, I can't even handle one. Let alone
no kidding.
More, right. But so that was phenomenal. If you guys hadn't checked it out, one, it's a tale of just not being able to get out of your own way and the stupidity behind it, because I want to point to, you can go down the troubles of drugs and you can go down the trouble of alcohol and living the fast life and everything that comes with that. And we've talked a lot about this on this program. But the one thing where you just have to look at somebody and say, you are a freaking idiot and I really can't relate to you and I don't have a lot of sympathy for you either, is like when they were in Indonesia or somewhere and he took the guy's motorcycle and drove it.
They have it on video. How crazy is that?
And he ran into somebody and knocked him into the fountain. And I'm just like, you know what? If you're going to be that guy, we all know that guy, and Marty Jannetty, if you're that guy, I really can't have sympathy for you anymore.
Yeah, and there were stories throughout the years, but not video. Like now, it's confirmation, right? So MJF actually tweeted something out a couple of days ago that said, hey, if your favorite wrestler didn't reach his potential, there's probably a reason why. Marty Jannetty, you saw all the reasons why he didn't reach the potential that I guess he thought he had, and it was because of a lot of trouble outside the ring. Yeah, so
that was awesome. That was a great.
I saw it.
Yeah, and then number 2, and I'm sure we're gonna get into it. And for me, it's like not only top, like the best wrestling of the week, but from a sentimental value, it's probably of the month. Man. RVD. Man, how cool was that to see him in the ring?
It was very cool to see him in the ring, man. He still looked good. He could still move. I could tell he may have slowed down 1 or 2 miles per hour, but that's totally fine. Man, RVD showed up. He killed it, did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he helped get Jungle Man Jack Perry over.
Well, and all you nerds on the internet are going to say, like, he kind of botched jumping up onto the top rope, not like he used to. Let's see you guys in your prime even try to do that in your 20s, let alone in your late 40s. Give me a break.
His botch is better than what most of us can do anyway. And it wasn't, I mean, he just, in all fairness, the spring to get up there wasn't quite what it used to be. But, man, RVD was absolutely fantastic. It was awesome to see him.
And the move of the night to me, the frog splash looks like it didn't lose a step at all.
Right.
And then the 360 spinning heel kick off the apron to Jungle Man over the barricade. Man, that was a rough bump. He took it. He was still doing running concertos and, you know, the somersault little thingies. And man, dude, I just reliving the glory days, man. And it was great to see. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder, RVD. Rolling Thunder, right. I would love to have RVD in Memphis. That would be tremendous. So your best wrestling you watched all week was Dark Side of the Ring and also RVD. I'm going to say that the best wrestling that I watched all week, I have a correction from last week because it was Rocky the Rockin' Redbird diving off the top rope. It wasn't 150,000 views. It was 450,000 views on Twitter. So I have to correct myself from last week. I watched the Marty Jannetty Dark Side of the Ring. I watched the Cody documentary back to back. It is absolutely fantastic, like top of the notch of professionalism.
I heard, according to a lot of people, they say that may be the best wrestling documentary that they've actually produced. Like, all in all,
it's like on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
it's crazy. The footage and what they have access to and just telling the story was absolutely fantastic. You'll love it. Also, I watched Bash at the Beach 2000.
Did you watch the Dark Side of the Ring of it too?
Yes, I watched Dark Side of the Ring, Bash at the Beach 2000, and we've got to get to Murray Collum, St. Jude Hero, right now. But after we talk to him, I think you and I might have a fight. We might have an argument.
Let's
Because
go.
I don't know, man. I kind of see it a little bit different. Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo. It was a topic last week for Devin. I know that we talked about it offline, so we'll talk about it. But let's first talk to Murray Collum. And joining me at this time is a St. Jude hero, a runner, a diehard wrestling fans, and a guy that I've become friends with. It's Murray Collum. What's up, Murray?
Not much, Dustin. How are you today, man?
I'm doing good, man. Welcome to Grind City Wrestling. Wanted to just talk to you for a second about the huge event that's coming up. It's on Saturday, August 19th, 4 p.m. Are you as excited as me that Hacksaw Jim Duggan is coming?
Man, let me just say one thing. Oh,
Oh, no kidding, man. Seriously, this guy, he tag teamed with Hulk Hogan. He wrestled against Andre the Giant, the first ever Royal Rumble winner, King Hacksaw. Man, how did this all come about? So start at the beginning and then just tell us why you do it and just give us the scoop.
oh yeah, man. So, I got married a long time ago, but I married a St. Jude survivor, and she's a St. Jude survivor of retinoblastoma, which is cancer of the retina. And so I got into running in 2016, and she was like, hey, you're getting pretty good at this. She said, you know, St. Jude does runs. I was like, what are you talking about? St. Jude does runs. I was like, she's like, yeah, they have like this big marathon and everything. And I was like, well, I'm not running a marathon. Like, I'm not doing that. That's a long way. She said, well, you know, just run a 10K. And I said, okay, well, I'll sign up for the 10K. Well, my training advanced really quickly, and I really fell in love with like the running bug. And so I actually ran 8 miles before I actually ran an official 10K. And so I was like, which is only 6 miles. And so I was like, okay, well, my wife's like, why don't you see if they'll up you to the half marathon? So in 2016, I ran my first marathon while fundraising for St. Jude. And the fundraising bug kind of bit me. And I'm like, okay, this is something I have a talent for. Why don't I keep doing this and form some teams? And I had I had a friend of mine from high school whose little girl was diagnosed with leukemia. Her name is Lily Baker. And I overheard at a race on the 4th of July in Oxford in 2017, I overheard a lady talking to another lady about Lily. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but are you Nicole Baker? And she said, I am. And I said, your daughter's Lily, you're married to Lee. And she's like, yes. I said, I grew up with Lee. I went to high school with him. I don't, you know, I would love to run for your child for St. Jude. And so we established that connection over the next few months. She formed a team. I co-captained that team with her. Then the next year, I'm forming teams to run Chicago Marathon. Yeah, I finally ran a marathon.
Wow.
I ran quite a few. I ran the Tupelo Marathon, the Memphis Marathon, and then Chicago. And then we're running in New York City. And then just as recently as last September, I ran the Berlin Marathon for St. Jude. So I've done 3 world majors, Memphis and Tupelo, and I plan on doing Memphis again in December, and I'm hoping to get into Boston in April. And so that's how all this came about on the running side. But I was like, okay, I've done all these 5Ks, these races in my hometown, in the Tupelo area, and I'm like, you always get the same crowd, right? I was like, there's a crowd that you can tap into that we haven't tapped into for fundraising yet. And that was another crowd that I've come to enjoy being around with Big John Dalton and the Gun Show. And I was like, I want to do a wrestling event. And so I reached out.
You're just as big a part of that crowd like me as anybody, because you and your sons go to the events, have the action figures. I mean, such diehard wrestling fans. And now hearing and learning more about you as we go is like, wow, you basically brought 2 of your favorite things, 3, running, wrestling, and raising funds for St. Jude all together. So this all makes
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell people we all have tools in our toolbox. We just got to find the place to use our tools. And that's what I wanted to do. And man, it's been so much fun getting involved in the inner workings of the wrestling community. I mean, you're meeting people. I mean, to hang out with Lance Archer in a locker room, I mean, not everybody gets to do that.
No.
You know, so it's just like to get to know how to book wrestlers like Sergeant Slaughter, and then actually being the correspondence to actually book Hacksaw Jim Duggan for an event was just like, oh my goodness, I'm actually doing this, and it's a lot of fun. And you know what's so cool about having Hacksaw Jim Duggan for this event is he's a cancer survivor 2 times already, and he's beat cancer.
Right. So it's going to be a huge event coming up. It's Saturday, August the 19th, 4 p.m. You can meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You do not need a VIP ticket, which are almost sold out, by the way. The VIP stage seating, you get the lanyard, you get to sit on the stage where the wrestlers come out, and you get to meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan, get that lanyard autographed. But everybody can meet Hacksaw at 4 o'clock. We ring the bell at 5. That's not all that's going on, man. You've been telling me about water slides and live music and food trucks. So just give us a quick rundown for those of us who want to support St. Jude, but might not be the biggest wrestling fan, or even for those that just want to come see Hacksaw.
Yeah. So like he said, we're starting off at 4 p.m. meeting Hacksaw Jim Duggan and getting your memorabilia signed. Bring it. Let's get it signed. Get your action figures signed. Get your Hacksaw buddies signed, your wrestling buddies from the 1980s. Anything that you have a Hacksaw Jim Duggan, bring it. Let's get it signed. We'll have 8x10s available. We may even have a few surprises available for you to get signed for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And then after that, during that time, we're gonna have live music from Anthony and Pam Bollinger. And then at 5 p.m., we got bell time. We're going to start off immediately recognizing St. Jude survivors and patients that are going to be in attendance. We've reached out to some, and they're coming. They're ready to go. And then we want to give them their flowers. We want to recognize them because they've done more than we ever could. They've beat cancer, and they've gone through those cancer treatments. And then we're going to have some great matches. And I'm going to get in the ring.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go there. So a word around the Wrestle Center real quick, not to cut you off, but it's like, hey, Dustin, have you heard that Murray wants to slam Jimmy Blaylock to a table? And I'm like, what, are you kidding me? Or, hey, Murray wants to pile drive somebody. I'm like, okay. Like, they know that you're chomping at the bit and that you want to get in the ring. So I can't give away any spoilers, but stay tuned to Memphis Wrestling coming up. Because I'm going to tell you, Murray, you got to be careful in there, brother.
Yeah, I know, but Jimmy Blaylock likes to run his mouth, so we'll see how that ends up being.
Jimmy Blaylock seems to be the only person on planet Earth that would feel good about interrupting a St. Jude segment or seminar or whatever it is that we're doing out there. He just barges right in and interrupts it. So yeah, if you do get in the ring, I hope you give him a big knuckle sandwich. So bell time 5 o'clock. We do have a big rumble on the trail, so we're going to see who the first ever rumble on the trail winner is going to be. It's going to be a huge battle royal. Then immediately following, party continues.
That's right. After party at Montgomery's on Main. Guys, this is so awesome. 7 p.m. until they decide to close the doors. Who knows when that'll be? But every bit, listen, 50% of all things purchased go to St. Jude. So that's huge. And so
that is huge.
After party is going to be amazing. They're going to give that money to St. Jude. So we really want you to come to after party. And the wrestler is going to be there. So another opportunity to meet the wrestlers.
Yes, absolutely. And we ate at Montgomery on Main as well, and it is very good. It's family. It's locally owned and operated. Very family friendly. There's an upstairs, a downstairs. We're going to fill it up. Just have the beer on ice for us, Murray.
All right. Then after, like I said, we got the bouncy houses, a water slide that's a bouncy house. So bring your towels and your swimsuits. We're going to have Pillar Fire food truck, Papa Smokehouse and Grill food truck, and Farm Bureau has just notified us that we're going to have concessions done by them. And so there will be concessions done by Farm Bureau Insurance and their Farm Bureau food trucks. So we got plenty of food options, plenty of drink options, and we're just going to have a big party and celebrate St. Jude.
Yes, and there is a cover over the pavilion out there in Pontotoc, Mississippi, so rain or shine.
Right, rain or shine. And guys, if you're afraid of the heat, don't be. It's shaded and it's 100-mile-an-hour ceiling fan. I'm going to have that thing cranking.
Yes, plus there's going to be the water slides. You can get those tickets in advance. You'll see all the different various seating. VIP is almost sold out. Remember, you can sit on the stage where the wrestlers come out. Also get that commemorative VIP lanyard so Hacksaw Jim Duggan can sign it up. Is there anything else you want the wrestling fans to know before Saturday, August 19th?
I just want you to get your tickets in advance because, like I said, when you walk up and you're trying to get tickets and there's no more ringside left, I can't help you. So let's get your tickets in advance. Get your ringside seating, get your mid-level seating, whatever you want. General admission, bring your own chair, standing room only, whatever kind of ticket you want, get it in advance. Let's go ahead and get that marked out and get them bought. And then that way, you know, look, if we have sold out of chairs, we need to know to get some more. So let's buy your tickets.
Good point. The bring your own chair, those tickets are only $10.
Right.
$10 and you get to meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So very, very easy. Get your tickets, championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. Murray, thank you so much for doing everything that you do. You have been absolutely killing it. I don't want to give out any numbers yet, but it looks like that this partnership and this tag team, PONTOTOC Run Club, Memphis Wrestling, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, whoever thought we would say that, but raising a lot of money for a really good cause in St. Jude. So thank you.
Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate it.
We'll see you there. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ah. I love it. Welcome back. Now, first of all, big stuff with Murray Collum, St. Jude, raising a ton of money. Get to meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You and I have talked about the Bushwhackers. We've talked about Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Andre the Giant, all that stuff. Dude, Hacksaw Jim Duggan fits right in with all of those cartoon stars.
Man, and he was on the Doink the Clown Dark Side of the Ring about how what was his name? What was Doink's name again?
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot.
Whoever it was.
Dang.
I'm totally forgetting. But how they were both doing an indie show 20 years later, and he was still holding a grudge and tried to shoot fight him in the ring.
Hacksaw's a great dude, man. Hacksaw, like we talked about, he's beat cancer twice. Gosh, I mean, first ever Royal Rumble winner. So meet Hacksaw August the 19th. But now you and I think we're going to tango. How in the world would you possibly choose the side of Vince Russo in all of this? Here's the way that I look at it. Is Eric Bischoff was here. He was the decision maker. He was the game ops coordinator. He's the pugs in the Memphis Grizzlies realm of things. He called all the shots, right? So to me, Russo was the person beneath.
Right.
And Russo overturned. It's like overturning Vince if you compare it to WWE. If Eric Bischoff was the guy, it's like somebody going into business for themselves on my show.
Okay, so here's what we got to here's where I got to start.
Hold on, Hogan and his, being a jerk and using creative control and all that stuff. I get that. That's all sucks. It sucks even. But like when the marching orders come from the very top, which it said it was Eric Bischoff. I don't know how Russo. There's any other way to explain it.
Two different points here. We're arguing two different points, right? The point is, if you need to follow the corporate ladder, yes, Russo was in the wrong. I'm not saying who's in the right or wrong.
Okay,
I'm saying
all right.
Camp I'm in.
Okay, I got you.
I agree with.
I am in camp Eric Bischoff, just simply for the fact that I see it. I just see it like if the boss says to do it, it is phony wrestling. But
you see what I'm saying?
Finish.
You see what I'm saying? Like, take your promoter hat off. Like you, Dustin Starr, actually being a promoter. Rewind yourself 10 years of being a fan.
Okay.
If you can do that at this point. Now, trust me, I know what you're saying. I'm a business owner. I get it. I know what you're saying. But I'm a fan of pro wrestling. So there's been too many stories about, I got to back up. I think Vince Russo unfairly gets demonized for a personality of who he is. Just a brash New Yorker. Hey, bro, Pritchard dogs him all the time on his podcast. Bishop dogs him all the time. What we're not going to argue with is that he is not the soul, but a main arbiter of the Attitude Era.
I'll Google it.
Yeah. He's a main guy and creative of the Attitude Era. All of our favorite memories are a brainchild of him. Yes, it was Crash TV as he says it, right? So let's start there. And then he goes to WCW to try and recreate it. Guess what? He didn't kill WCW. WCW was already a sinking ship.
Oh,
That's
man,
why
yeah.
they brought him in. So for Eric Bischoff to be like, oh, this was the reason WCW went down, and oh, it was because they cut my funding and then brought in, like, no, like Eric Bischoff put himself on top. He put bookers in those positions that only booked themselves on top, i.e. Kevin Nash. These whole things that kind of eventually led to the downfall. So rewind, take your promoter cap off.
Well, first of all, I'm thinking, how the hell are they leaving the show before it's even over with? Who does that? You think Vince leaves before the show's over? I mean, I'm sure that there's been situations where he has, but major pay-per-view like this with something like that going down?
Do you think the boss of all bosses just leaves with his top star whenever the heck he wants? I mean, the only time I heard of Vince doing that is when The Undertaker got hurt at Mania. Right? And so let's put that to the side and now take your promoter cap off. Do you see the whole lay down scenario as the way to go? I mean, they already did it with Kevin Nash. It's like, how many times are you going to go back to this well, Hogan, to keep the strap?
Terrible. It's terrible.
It's
No, I agree.
terrible.
Russo's trying to put his foot down, but then he also overstepped big time.
Well,
So
right, but in the process of being stepped over when something already happened, you know as well as I do, we both have write live scripts and we do this. Now, you have to be able to be malleable, but at the end of the day, when people keep changing something that everybody has always agreed to, and one person keeps changing it just at the last second, and you can't tell me it's not a way to F with somebody, too. It just gets tiresome, and so at some point, you're going to put your foot down. He wasn't right in doing it. But if it didn't play out like the whole way it played out, he probably made the right decision for the fans. That's my point in saying all this.
sounds like it was a personal issue that involved and affected business, which really, really sucks. Okay, so a couple quick hits here. WWE SummerSlam
what was the best decision? Hold on, really quick, because you just said I go with the corporate ladder.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I would. I do what the director, the producer, the owner, whatever tells me.
I could take this off as a fan. I'm saying from a purely fan perspective.
Oh, a fan perspective, I think both of them really suck. You don't want to lay down and then restart and have
Bischoff
another
never
championship
wanted
match and all that kind of
and
stuff.
Russo never wanted to lay down.
How was the show going to end with Hogan laying down, or with Jarrett laying down anyway? Was that the end of the pay-per-view?
It wasn't going to happen that way. It was still going to be Booker T winning the strap at the end of the night. That was the thing. And so when Hogan and Bischoff nixed that at the 12th hour, he just said, hey, we're still going with the script as written. You guys want to walk out? I'm going to cut a promo to let them know. But the script still kind of played out the way it was originally intended, at least per the documentary.
Anyways, SummerSlam was awesome. Dave and Buster's was full. We can't wait to do it again on AEW All In. What'd you think of SummerSlam? Jimmy and Jay are now against each other, it looks like. Roman keeps the title. You mentioned that he's injured. What are they doing here? Do we want to see Jimmy versus Jay?
That doesn't move the needle for me.
They do, though, because they did an interview saying that they've always pitched ideas where they would have some sort of a match, and it looks like now that's going to happen.
Here's at the end of the day with the whole bloodline thing, okay, as it pertains to the E-Rock, Eric McMahon. When you get swerve after swerve, the swerves don't mean anything anymore, right? And so now if we swerve the Usos turning their backs on Roman, that was the swerve. Now the swerve to the swerve, it doesn't move the needle to me. Like, listen, if you have this monster heel and or just powerhouse in Roman Reigns, of course, like, you think we've already seen the Jey Uso and we've already seen those play out, right? And so now they're going to go against each other for what? Just to buy time. Everybody, I'm going to tell you why. To buy time.
They have to make brand new television, 3, 4, 5 times a week, especially 3 hours on Raw, 2 hours on SmackDown, everything in between, plus social media content. They do have to milk this for everything that it's worth. Okay, so the next topic, we had a huge TV taping on Sunday. Chris Masters was in the house and Dirty Dango, and it was absolutely packed. And I'm proud to say that I don't have any dirt to report on Dirty Dango or Chris Masters. They were awesome.
Hey, we need to tell a Chris Masters story.
Go ahead. You got one?
Do you realize Chris Masters was there the night me and you became homeboys?
Hold on a second. At Tunica?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. How do you remember this?
Man, because I'm an elephant, brother.
It's like a steel trap up there. Chris Masters was super duper cool. All the fans loved him.
And he was short off of his WWE run at the time.
Yeah. Yes.
Off.
Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, you'll see Chris Masters for a couple of weeks. Also, Dirty Dango. He looked awesome. Dirty Dango looked fantastic. Very, very good with the people. Really good stuff coming up on Memphis Wrestling. They actually outgrew the Archer versus KRULE. People love those guys. It was incredible.
Rewinding, I know we're all over the map here. I want to interview you at the very end, so save some little bit of time for that, okay?
Okay, I've got another news bite. We're going through them.
But I want to get your take on the Adam Cole MJF bromance going on.
There it is, MJF, Adam Cole, not only the bromance, but now they are set to wrestle 2 times at Wembley Stadium at All In. These 2 guys are the 2 top stars that are going to headline the entire show, but now you're going to put them against the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions at the Ground Zero, which is basically the pre-show? Eric, what are they doing?
I'm not all in on that. I am all in on the bromance. Like, it's hysterical to me. I mean, MJF even doing the boom and the Adam Cole, baby. Like,
it's very coordinated. It works. People love it. Papa, we're all just waiting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But is it Adam Cole that turns heel on MJF this time?
Can't be. MJF does not work as a babyface.
It is ridiculous, though, that they're having these guys work twice. Once for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, which I know they're trying to elevate, and they're going to do that. But also sometimes elevating like that by putting your top guys, you're kind of bringing them down just a slight bit, in my opinion. Speaking of that, I thought it was very weird that CM Punk has this real world championship and MJF has nothing to say about it. Are you kidding me?
Truth be told, I think people are just distancing themselves from Punk to a degree. And did you hear on Eric Bischoff's podcast? He just lays in to CM Punk, right? And he said CM Punk is going to be like the highest priced wrestling acquisition with the biggest failure. And he essentially saying is that they are building the Friday night show or the Saturday night show all on CM Punk. And it's a ticket sales and ratings disaster. And to Bishop's point, it's like nobody cares about CM Punk.
We went through the ratings and the numbers, and we're not really big ratings guys, but we put them out there just a couple of weeks back. Check it out in the archive. But then Saturday against SummerSlam, Collision had the lowest number ever. And mind you, SummerSlam is on pay-per-view. You actually have to seek it out and purchase it in some sort of fashion to watch it. And AEW Collision you can watch on television.
What's gonna happen to Collision when college football starts, bro?
Oh man, yeah, those Saturday night NFL football games towards the end of the year. Heck yeah, they're gonna have a lot of trouble. All right, so the last news that I have for you here today, unless you've got something.
Well, you announce your big news, and then I'm gonna interview you.
This is the final one. WMC Action News Plus Memphis Wrestling is coming your way. So it was announced at our television taping. Fans were all super excited. It's all over social media at this point that Memphis Wrestling is moving from CW30 Memphis to WMC Action News Plus. And that happens on Friday, September 1st. So not only will you be able to watch first on Friday night at 11 p.m. on WMC Action News Plus anywhere in the world, but then also there's another airing on Saturday at noon. All the other television markets remain the same. All the times that the time slots and all that kind of stuff, our live chat on YouTube, it all stays the same. The only thing changing is that Memphis Wrestling is leaving CW30 and extending its reach with WMC Action News Plus. Big news for Memphis Wrestling.
That's what leading into it. I know this. You obviously know the metrics. How much bigger of a reach, let's just say in the market, do they have?
Oh, it's incredible. If you're just looking at Facebook alone, they have WMC has 500,000 Facebook followers compared to CW30, which is like 3,200. We've got 20,000 ourselves. So it's definitely a major step up, and you'll be able to watch anywhere in the world on the app, the WMC app.
Well,
it's
and that's
free.
what's leading me into my next thing.
Okay.
Is not only, you know, you're watching Memphis Wrestling now, which the product is great and the growth has been, you know, unprecedented. It may have slowed down after E-Rock Eric McMahon left the airways, but but you know, it's, if you're not DVRing it or going and searching it on YouTube, which may be clipped up certain ways here and there, you're now going to be able to see the episode in entirety on the streaming platform.
Yes. So on WMC's app, also on WMC's website, and then also the airwaves on WMC Action News Plus. Also, 901 FC airs there. I believe Penny has his coaching show there as well. So they're beefing up the programming, and we do have such a great audience online. And that's one of the reasons television stations are a little different than back in the day with classic Memphis Wrestling. You had just the TV station. Now you have the television station and all these different platforms. We talk about it all the time where you can watch. There's so many different options of where you can watch the same program. And so the idea here is for people to watch first on Friday night at 11 p.m.
Oh, I mean, you're double, tripling, quadrupling your probably potentially 10xing your reach.
Oh, the reach as far as just the television footprint alone is much larger, and even factoring in social media as well, definitely. Now, just to tell you a little bit about the growth of Memphis Wrestling of 2022, the entire year, right? Those YouTube analytics at this point in the game, as of August the 10th, we're already at those numbers. So potentially we can double our viewership just on YouTube alone within the year.
That's amazing, man.
Thank you. I know you've been there. You know a little bit of the ins and outs of all the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. So this is huge news for us. WMC Action News Plus. You can download the app. It's absolutely free. September 1st is when it officially takes place. Anything else, E-Rock?
Let's see. No.
All right, here's what's coming up on Memphis Wrestling. So coming up on Saturday, it's first time ever one-on-one this Saturday. The Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer goes head-to-head with the Monster KRULE. You can catch it, live chat with us, youtube.com/@Memphis Wrestling. And then on Saturday, August 19th, we talked about it, Memphis Wrestling and the PONTOTOC Run Club are tag teaming with Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, to raise funds for St. Jude. Get those tickets. Hey, those VIP tickets where you sit on the stage, get the lanyard and everything, they're almost sold out. By the time this drops, they'll probably all be gone. It's going to be a huge night. Get those tickets in advance.
Pontotoc, Mississippi, also home to the world famous and much beloved MMA fighter, Big Tuna Ben Parrish.
Oh, big shout out to Big Tuna. I love that guy. I heard him calling out Rampage Jackson here recently.
Rampage does have a retirement fight that he's trying to book. Who knows?
Let's go. Then Saturday, August 26th, Gleason, Tennessee. It's the Tater Town Throwdown benefiting Gleason High School. Then August 27th, the real one, ENZO AMORE, is coming to Memphis Wrestling, and you can't teach that. Eric, these tickets are selling so fast. We are still, it's the 10th. What are we, 17 days away from this? It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
I would love to see a
house
resurgence out of ENZO and Memphis Championship Wrestling from Memphis be the catalyst.
That would be, we should book Big Bill with him. Anyways, check this out. So August 27th, ENZO is coming, right? So bell time is at 1:45. Guess what time AEW All In starts? Like 1 o'clock. But have no fear, because we have a special watch party at 7 p.m. at Dave & Buster's. So everybody that comes out to Memphis Wrestling, we're going to head straight out to Dave & Buster's afterwards. They're going to have a special watch party just for us. And then, of course, on the 28th, of course, the 28th is going to be Raw at FedEx Forum. So hopefully we'll have a WWE superstar on here on Grind City Wrestling. But also we have a pre-party at Ghost River. So you can come check us out 5:30, have some wings, some beer, and then we'll all walk over to FedEx Forum together. And I have it on very good authority that you will see some of the stars of Memphis Wrestling over there doing a little work for WWE.
Dustin books you on the big show.
Oh, yeah. What do you got going on this weekend?
Just gonna be down in my gyms, Memphis Fitness Kickboxing, Colorado Fitness Kickboxing. Come on in, say D-Star, Devin Walker Baby sent you. We give you a hell of a deal. I'm also training for the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships at the end of August. So I'm probably going in as a top 10 seed. We'll see how it plays out. Goals to make the podium. Actually, goals to always win the damn thing. But got that coming up. What else do I got going on? Man, I'm just kind of, I don't know if you're starting to see my face getting a little skinnier. My weight cut has started.
Ooh, look, you can see mine. Look at me. I'm going to edit that out. I'm just kidding.
So that's what I got going on, man. Just a lot of training and spend family time. And I'm now officially 44 years old.
Yes, happy birthday, E-Rock. I sent you the text the other day. I didn't know you were 44, though, so you're definitely older than me.
Yeah, my back hurts, bro. Get off my back hurts.
My neck hurts. My neck is killing me. All right, that's all the time we have this week on Grind City Wrestling. We'll try to get the whole band back together. I know Devin has a lot of takes. He was at the Wrestle Center last night for some of our training matches. If you have any interest in training with us, WrestleCenter901.com. But I am Dustin Starr. He is E-Rock Eric McMahon, and that is Grind City Wrestling.